So the New Jersey Devils, will they get back on track this season after a very frustrating year last year where they underperformed a lot of people's expectations, and a lot of that was due to the crazy amount of injuries they faced? Is this the year they'll get back to being a top contender in the Eastern Conference? And side note, yeah, I definitely need to kind of get more NHL team hats and stuff like that. I'm working on that. We'll see how it goes. Let's go right into the New Jersey Devils roster and see the additions they have made, and are they going to be back towards the top end of the Metropolitan division? I think it goes without saying, Nico, Hischier, Jack Hughes, amazing centers, great talent. Nico is just such a great two-way center. I love his game. It's a lot of fun to watch him. Jack Hughes, phenomenal offensive talent and just a great player all around. When I'm looking at the top six, you got Palat, Hischier, Jesper, Bratt. Bratt is also very talented. Great shot on him. And then for the second line, you got Meyer, Hughes, and Mercer. For me, with Meyer, that's kind of the question mark. You're hoping he can be more like San Jose Meyer than what you kind of saw him with New Jersey. And mind you, in New Jersey, you saw some flashes, but you need him to be what you're paying him. He's getting $8.8 million per year. You need him to produce, especially since this is only year 2 of that 8-year deal. But then the third line, I do like this. Tatar, Erik, Haula, Stefan, Noesen. I think that was a nice addition. I think he'll fit really well with the New Jersey Devils, what they're trying to do. He'll add some nice depth scoring. I think this is a very, very good third line. Tatar has the potential to score 20. Haula has looked pretty damn good in a Devil's sweater. And then in the fourth line, you got Cotter, Lazar, Bastian, McDermott. I think steady fourth line. Up and down, lines 1 through 4 with the Devils, you have stars, and then you have good secondary scoring, where they're not going to be an easy out. I think these teams that, have depth scoring and are able to just not have to rely on one line, in the long run, they're far more successful. But defense, the Devils were no slouches either. Siegenthaler and Hamilton. Hamilton, when healthy, I think very good defenseman. They brought in Brenden, Dillon, Brett Pesce, both good guys to have in your top 4. And then I do like Kovacevic. He's a good, bigger defenseman. I mean, I saw one of those crazy hits he laid on a guy. I think that's a great bottom pairing guy to have, and you're paying him really cheap money. You have Nemec and DeSimone. But let's be honest, you can't talk about the Devils without mentioning Luke Hughes. He is a really promising young defenseman. I really like his game as well. Great puck mover. He's going to miss about the first 6 weeks of the season due to an injury, and that stinks. But even without Luke Hughes, I do really like this D-core that the Devils kind of have constructed here. They're very deep and just steady. And the biggest addition was in net. Trading for Jacob Markstrom, bringing him in, I think, was a good move by the Devils. Markstrom-Allen tandem is just very solid. Markstrom, when he is locked in, playing behind a really solid team, can be in that Vezina conversation at times. He can be a top 10 goalie in the NHL. And in comparison to what they were kind of dealing with last season, this is a massive upgrade. And then Jake Allen as a backup, he's no slouch either. He has shown that he can be extremely good, even good with the Devils last season. And he's been a backup, he's been a starter, so I don't think there's going to be too many issues in that regard, and you have a solid 1-2 punch that allow both goalies to have proper rest. I just looking at the full roster of the Devils, they're just very steady. So will the New Jersey Devils be able to get back towards the top end of the Metropolitan Division? Well, I mean, they got the New York Rangers, going to be a very solid team again. The Carolina Hurricanes, but a lot of people have left the Hurricane organization. Now, they could have some guys step in and do really well, kind of similar to what happened with the Bruins last year. People didn't really expect them to be toward the top in the Atlantic, but they somehow managed. And, you have the New York Islanders, Washington Capitals, Pittsburgh Penguins, Philadelphia Flyers, and Columbus Blue Jackets. The Devils, with the roster they have constructed, I do think at the very least they're going to be the second place team in that division. They just have so much talent. I think they have the talent up front. They have the talent on the back end. And now with the addition of a guy like Markstrom and net, there's no real massive holes on this roster. I do think good times are ahead for Devils fans. But I'd like to know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Do you think the Devils will be back towards the top end of the Metropolitan Division this season, or will they flounder yet again? I'm Captain Paul. I'll see you in the next one.